Every desire that you have for your manifestations, every end goal that you're focusing on already exists and you already have it. It's up to you whether you trust it or doubt it. I'm going to break down exactly how you can feel safe and assured in your manifestation and know it's already done in today's video, so you can feel safe and just know that your manifestation is a guarantee. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to any new viewers. Today we're talking about why your manifestation is already yours. It already exists. It is a guarantee. It's a guarantee, not a guessing game. So I'm going to go and break down into points throughout this video how you can build up your trust, why that doubt actually comes about. We're going to start with, what actually causes that lack of belief, lack of faith. And yeah, so you guys can get a better understanding, feel way more confident and assured. That's the goal of my videos, to simplify manifestation and really give you guys simple points, even tying logic into it, because you can tie logic into the manifesting process, as a person, as a human, applying these techniques. So it's going to be hopefully a very simple, easy to understand video. Please do thumbs up if you enjoy. Subscribe to my channel. It's free and easy and you can stay up to date with all my content. There is a new feature as well called the hype button, which not everyone has, but I've just seen it's a new feature rolled out by YouTube. If you get to the end of this video or you watch through and you enjoy this, you want to let other people know, you want to support my channel and say this is a good video, I'm going to recommend other people watch it, you can just click the hype button right below if you want to. But yeah, everything else we've popped on screen. I have coaching offers, a monthly membership, which is the join buttons right below if that's something you want to take part in. On screen will be all the little highlights to do with that. And now let's start the video. We are just naturally socially conditioned to believe in what we can see in the 3D. We're not conditioned to believe in, an alternative reality existing. It's just not a natural way of thinking. It's not the way the conscious logical mind thinks as well, to, think beyond and think, what if, these are the possibilities. It's more about safety, security, and an unchanging type of reality. The brain and human nature is not accustomed to or super comfortable with change, right? So the same goes when it comes to manifestation. What we see in the 3D is what your mind consciously is going to hold on to, where assumptions are built from, which is why repetition of positive assumptions and beliefs, affirmations, is so important, because your 3D can't change until you shift your mindset. It's not just going to magically change around. So it's important to understand that what we see in the 3D is naturally going to be what our minds hold on to, what we see as logical and objective reality. But that's why it's hard to shift from, oh, I'm already with my SP, I already have my manifestation. It's hard to shift into trusting that end result, but it's kind of natural. Your reticular activating system as well, tying it into, quantum mechanics, how your reality can shift and how the brain actually works. The reticular activating system, RAS, is going to scan for what it holds on to, what it assumes, what has been repetitively programmed in your mind. So wherever your focus goes, it's going to scan and look for that and be more intentional and aware of those things and pick up on that. Example, so if you think a lot about your SP in a positive way, it's going to show you birds before land, maybe even signs of movement, these kind of things. And then if it doesn't see examples of that in your 3D, it can interpret that as, okay, it's not here, it doesn't exist, that is a failure. That is how the mind can kind of interpret it and work. But what it is the more you focus on that, the more consistent you get, the more that's going to be reflected in your external reality. But at the moment, if you scan if your mind is scanning the 3D and not seeing what you want, yeah, it can seem, my manifestation's not here, it's not shifting, it's not coming in, what's going on? But you have to give it time and for it to build up and understand this is the way the mind works. And as also when you're actually experiencing doubtful thoughts, it's just the old story. It's the remnants of the old story filtering out. It's still clinging on to your 3D reality, to your thoughts, to your mind. It's being washed away, but it's still clinging on for the time being. So it's just doubtful thoughts that, can seem like, okay, this is proof my manifestation isn't working, nothing has changed, what's going on? It's easy to fall into that and fall into this victim mindset or safety and comfort of, okay, it's failed, nothing's changed, There's been no change, there's been no shift. My reality is exactly as I suspected, exactly what I've seen up until now. Nothing has changed. It's easy to fall into that mindset consciously, but you have to remember that just because you're not seeing that evidence in the 3D, or you're having doubt because of that, and it's this perpetual cycle, it doesn't mean your manifestation isn't working. Doubt and doubtful thoughts, and even your 3D not showing you the result, doesn't mean everything isn't working in your favor. So just remember that the 3D reality is not the root of reality. Your consciousness is the root of reality and shaping everything. What you think, what you focus on, what you start to shift around, and intentionally, in a self-aware way, take control and say, I'm going to change my beliefs. I'm going to change my thought patterns. I don't like this. I don't want to think this way. I realize the way I was thinking wasn't right. And then you change it around, because your 3D is not objective. It's not the root of everything and showing you, well, this is just the way reality is and you're going to have to suck it up. Your consciousness, the way you think is. So also remember that you are not creating something from scratch. Everything has already been created into existence. God, a higher power, everything already exists. Everything is in the quantum realm. Every possibility and reality you can imagine or think of, every desire that you have, desired outcome, it already exists. There is a reality where this is in existence. So you're not trying to create something from scratch or achieve the impossible. So you have to remember that you're selecting the version of reality where that already exists, and it's the version that you want. You just say, this is the version I'm selecting. This is what I want. This is where my focus is going to go. That's really all it takes, the repetitive focus. So it's all in existence in the quantum field, as I said, and where your focus goes is the one that you're creating a quantum frequency to. It's the one you're selecting. It's what's going to shift and conform into your physical reality, basically your life. The life you're living now, it's not that you suddenly become a new or different version of you and you time travel. It's not like that. It's your circumstances, your external reality. Obviously, it starts internally with you, but your external reality is going to shift to align with that. You're going to lock it in by focusing on that version of reality. And the only way to guarantee this is through repetition and consistency. I say this all the time from the beginning to all my clients. I always remind them, repetition is how your subconscious is going to be conformed and bring in the version of reality you want. You cannot experience that and have your circumstances shift if you're not applying repetition and telling your mind, this is what I am experiencing. This is the reality I want. So very likely the doubt will come up here and there. It's only natural. As humans, we're not going to think perfectly, and you're certainly not going to shift your thought patterns overnight. Yes, it's possible, but it's probably not going to happen because the brain and mind does need time. But when you have doubtful thoughts, when that starts to come up, remind yourself, it's the old story. Yes, I might be having an emotional reaction, a mental reaction, and doubting things and starting to panic or have a reaction to something I saw in the 3D. It's just the old story. It might feel very real. It might seem like it's, this factual thing because I have a memory, I saw it with my own eyes, whatever. It's just the old story filtering out. It's not factual, it's not objective, and it certainly isn't permanent. Remind yourself of that as well. Life is constantly changing. Everything changes in manifestation. Circumstances are not permanent. If your thoughts start to shift and become more positive or more negative, or just shift in alignment where you build new beliefs, as we naturally do throughout different periods in our life, right? We're not always going to have the exact same beliefs. Life will start to reflect that. So remember, having a doubtful thought or seeing something that triggers you is not permanent. It doesn't mean things are going wrong, failing. You just need to remember, okay, this isn't factual, it's the old story, it's gone, and I don't believe in that. So until it becomes your default state and your dominant state, your dominant mental focus, meaning your thoughts, keep repeating to yourself your affirmation, your mental diet. Keep pushing back on that doubt. Don't let it sit there and accept it as fact, because that is what's going to just stay in your reality. You're not going to progress in your manifestation if you believe and feed into that doubt constantly. So keep pushing into the subconscious mind naturally through repetition, your positive affirmations. So when you are starting to waver and you feel that your mindset is kind of spiraling a little bit, even just in the moment, because those moments can build up, you don't want to push yourself back. You don't want to let those patterns repeat or come back in. Use a short affirmation. I always say the short, concise affirmations, as part of your mental diet, or a little visualization, a visualized scene, imaginal scene, as Neville Goddard, I believe, calls it, and literally just think of something that flips that negative thought around back into a positive circumstance, memory, whatever it is, turn it back around and say, no, 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 this is my reality. I'm with SP. Everything is perfect. I already have exactly what I want. Visualize that, and you're teaching your mind to think that way, and you're not holding on to that negative thought. Another important point, as well as how your body and mind responds, and this is actually similar to a question I'm about to film in the Q&A. I'm about to do the monthly Q&A for my LOA Coaching Darling members, and I'm going to tie it into the point I'm about to say, which I think is important for us to remember. If you ever struggle with anxiety or doubtful thoughts, or kind of, like very mentally or emotionally reactive to these kind of things, trusting in the end result, trusting in this new belief. It's not about forcing that belief to come in. It's about building it up and teaching your mind and your body and your nervous system, your neural pathways, your entire, your nervous system, the way you respond to things, to accept this as normal, to accept it as safe, to see this as, to normalize it in your mind, to see it as, okay, this is a safe reality, this is achievable, this is acceptable, it exists, and not hold it on a pedestal or something unachievable. And there's loads of distance, it's causing you anxiety or stress. It's about, that's how you're going to reduce that and actually make it more positive, because you're teaching your nervous system with each repetition, each moment that you're building up these new habits and practices, you're teaching your mind and your body, this is safe, this is normal, this is not some crazy outcome. Stop repeating to yourself that nothing is happening if you're not seeing it, if the 3D hasn't shifted, if you're just not seeing what you want reflected yet. Don't tell yourself or build on to this idea that nothing's happening, it's not coming together. Remind yourself, I'm in this transitional period and phase of my manifesting journey. It's the bridge of events, it's leading into movement, it's the conforming process behind the scenes. It's just moving step by step. You don't need to see all of it at once. So there's no need to panic if you feel doubtful. It's not going to ruin your manifestation or prevent things from coming in, but it does slow it down. It creates a little bit of a hurdle if you don't address it. So it's just kind of slowing down your alignment to that reality that you want, but that's it. So it's a bit of a cycle of a process where obviously your trust will build up when you can see it. That classic phrase, I'll believe it when I see it, but it's the other way around, because in order to get evidence in your 3D reality and proof of your manifestation and visible movement, you need to build up your trust and start to build onto those new positive beliefs and assumptions. So just remember that manifestation it's not a gamble, it's a guarantee. If you persist, if you commit to it, you can create the reality and experience the reality that you want. And the more you build on this trust and faith and understanding why and how manifestation works, the more your 3D will conform. So I'm going to leave this video here. I hope that was useful, clarified some extra points for you guys and for any new viewers. Thanks for watching. Do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.